Hello everyone and welcome to episode 14 of the Web Element series. Today I came across a code pen by a person named Shuding and I really loved that code pen and thought this could be a perfect content for this episode. So give this a look. As you can see that it has a blur effect. It is like a div that is placed in the center of the background, and when we hover over it, it tilts itself. And as you can see, at the edge that is away from us, it decreases the blur effect. And when we remove, the same thing happens on this side. So we would be recreating this today. So let's open the VS Code and now create a new file. I would name it obviously episode 14. Then index14.html and style14.css. Note that code pen only utilized CSS and HTML. No JavaScript was involved at all. That, to be honest, really impressed me because I never thought of such a thing. If I had thought of it, then it would have been in the other series, the experimentals, but I never thought so. I would just straight ahead write his name because he's the one who created it, and from my side, I don't think I have a right to name whatever the effect is. So I would just code it all, although it would be in my way, but all the credit goes to him for the idea. So what we have to do is create 8 spans, which we can simply do like span multiply 8. Or there are other ways 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do this way also. As we also have to write the class would be different, so I'm not just getting away with everything. So although in that code pen he hadn't named the spans, like there was no class name for the spans, which makes things complex, as then I'll simply show you that in the code he isn't using any a class name for the spans. So because of that he has to use nth of type, which I haven't explained and could be a little bit complex for beginners. So I would be currently using the class system. Maybe afterwards, when I have described the nth child and nth of type, etc., after that I may remake this video in a perfect way as the code is. So I would just simply number them, and you could have guessed that how I'll number. Simply first, second, third. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Let's save it now. Okay, I forgot one thing. I had to put it in the div. So I'll just cut div and paste it here, save. Now that's on the live server. It may take some seconds, but we don't have any problem in that. Okay, here it is. You can't see anything in the spans, etc., because of an obvious reason that we haven't even written anything and we do not even have to write anything. But will do one thing, which is give it some background image. And we'll do it in the CSS because we are doing it for the body. So I would prefer to do it in the CSS. First, we'll put a star so that we can give all of them a property altogether, which would be box sizing. So box sizing and border box. So now it's done for body, and for the body we have to write position relative. Margin obviously 0. Then comes height, which is 100 VH. Then comes background. Now I've selected the background. I had to write only background. And here I'll write URL. I've selected the background and I've saved it in the assets. So let me just copy and paste it. Okay, here it is. So copy, let's close it and let's paste it. And it didn't appear. Okay, we will just go on. Maybe it will appear itself, or maybe there is a problem with the link. As I didn't previously check the link as I usually do before, but still okay. Let's try with background color cover. So background size cover and background position center and background attachment should be scroll. Background attachment scroll simply means that whenever we scroll, the background will also move. So it is simply attached to the body. And the last is perspective, which as always we'll put at 100,000 pixels. Background image for web. I think there's a problem with the link, so that's the best thing we can do. Where is it? Unsplash. Like I prefer using Unsplash for such images. I'll simply write horizontal landscape. Also, you'll know how I extract the images for my projects. This looks promising to me. So I'll just copy image address. No, open image in a new tab. I had to take this one, but I took it in some other way when I was taking this link. But no problem. We have another, so let's save it. And now it has updated itself. Good. Now we have to work on the div. So we'll write dot div and we'll write position absolute. Then comes width, and I'll give it a width of 40 VW. I'll someday make a video on this VH, VW, etc. so that you can at least know how these units work. Maybe I'll create and upload that video within this week. Let's see. When I feel motivated enough to create such a video. And then insert 0. Insert 0 simply means that nothing should come inside of the div. And after insert 0, we'll do margin auto, so that it automatically arranges the margin for it. And then box shadow. I may show you the box shadow. As you can see, there is a little bit darkness like near these edges. That is simply the box shadow. As you can see here, it is more prominent than on other sides. So we will give it a box shadow of 0, 2 pixels, 5 pixels, 1 pixel. And obviously we want it to not look like of any other color. We just want it to be a little bit dark. So we'll simply do this, and I would give it a 0.25 is enough, I think. We'll check later on. It isn't visible yet, so we can't just go in it. So now transform. So translate y 0 pixels. It is simply that do we have to move that div on the y-axis, which isn't required. We do not want to move it at all. We just want to rotate it on its axis. So we will do translate y 0 pixels and then rotate y. And I think that's an angle nearby to, I'll go with 25. Also remember to write DEG, which simply represents degree. And then we'll also change the scale a little bit. Or we shouldn't. Let's keep it the same. Because the scale isn't changing in that original one. And I am trying to replicate the original one as much as possible. All 0.3 seconds and ease. You know, I can't find a difference between them, so I just always use ease and out. Still not visible. Now we'll go to the span. Or maybe like, wait, I didn't even realize that. Ow. I by mistake clicked Windows button instead of what I had to click, which was the Alt. Let's save it now. I just can't go without indentation. I want proper indentation to work properly. I'll just give them an extra name of SP. Like it is for the same properties we would be providing them. We can do it other ways also, but I just prefer to do it this way. So let's do display block and position absolute, and then z index. We want the z index to be at 1 so that it is in front of the body, like the background image, and also in front of the div so that it can give a proper blur effect. Then comes inset. Again, inset would be 0. It is a just in case condition so that it doesn't, like, whenever we are resizing the window or anything, it doesn't affect that much to the effect we have created. This is just as a precaution measure. Now comes the width, and width should obviously be 100%, and height should also be at 100%. And then comes two, remember to put two hyphens and then offset 40%. Okay. I had to put two F's. Offset is simply that how much distance we need at all times. Like, it will bring some little bit changes to adjust the spans properly. That's it. Nothing else for this property. And then comes background filter. You may have never heard of this property. Background filter is simply, why isn't it working? Background filter is simply a system where we can give blur, grayscale, etc. Why isn't it working now? Blur variable, and I will give a blur variable here. I don't know what is the problem. Okay, I forgot to put the two hyphens. My bad. Now comes WebKit. And we'll not go for animation. We'll go for, I have to write it. So WebKit, then comes backdrop, and then comes filter. So blur, again variable. Var simply means variable. It is useful for you to know because it is used in so many languages. You just can't name in how many languages you have to know that var means variable. Now again, WebKit, mask, and then comes linear gradient. As we want it to be in, like, we want it to be transparent, but we also wanted to have some blur. So this is a rough measure for bringing that blur in a proper gradient way. Like, I would show you. Like, as you can see, it is more like a gradient. The transparency is more towards this right side, and the transparency is lesser on the left end. So this is just to bring that effect. So we write to right as we wanted to increase towards right. Then comes transparent. Then calc. Calc simply means that they have to calculate the value themselves. We have no role in calculating the values manually. Although in most cases I just prefer to use the manually done calculations because I have a little bit interest in maths, which somehow survived. Now we have to minus it. So minus, again a variable which is offset. We defined it previously where offset was equal to 40%. Is this one? and then we'll have to exit from that calc, and then we have to write black. Then again variable minus minus x. I would be sometimes saying it as hyphen, sometimes I would be saying it as minus. You just know that it is the same symbol, but still just for information. So we'll put transparent, and again calc variable minus minus x, not cx. And further we go, we have to plus it. Okay. So in the calc we have to do plus. We are simply saying that we have given the values, now do it yourself. We'll just tell you have to do plus, minus, multiply, divide. Whatever we have to do, it has to calculate itself. We have no role in it. So now we'll add the offset in it. So and that's it for this too long line. Like the line is too long that I'm thinking of making it. As you can see, now you can watch the line properly. I would increase it a little bit, not much. Yes, now it's better. And now here is the last line of this one, which is transition. So transition should be again all, but here it would be 1 seconds, and as always ease in out. You can simply go with ease, because in actual I think ease will give such a effect. I just love when whatever I create is in a smooth manner. So I just end up doing such things. Now we have to give all of them individual properties, which is why we added that. What do we call it? Yeah, that's why we added the calc, because now they'll have individual properties. Okay. I would give it a value of 12.5%. Now let's copy and paste it so that a little bit of work decreases. So here's the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So I'll first rename all of them. Seventh, sixth, fifth, fourth. Wait, I did more than required, but no problem. So now comes the third, second, and remove this. We don't even need this one. Now I'll change the blur value here to I think I should change for the first one. Like let's make it like a series, like 20, then I'll do 16, 12, 8, now the series seems to be breaking. I'll just take it to 2 and then 0. Now we have to change the value for x. Let's just simply double it for the second. So 25. Now I'll give it a value of, let's add straight ahead 12.5 to 25, which equals to 37.5. Then comes 50. Then comes 62.5. After 62.5 comes 75. Yes, this one is in a proper series. Now comes 87.5. And here comes 100%. Or maybe let's go for more. So 120%. Let's save it and let's see. Okay, we haven't given the blur properties, so it is quite a lot doing nothing. So div hover, and it should simply do transform translate y. What should I go with further? Okay, let's simply copy and paste that one, the first we gave for the div. Let's copy, paste, and then all we have to do is add a minus. Save it. Then again, okay, I had to write it with a dot. So dot div hover, dot first. I also give the div a name. Like, it doesn't look really good using div again and again. So I'll give it a name container. And I would simply copy it, save. Like, naming things is better. Like, if in case I end up creating it even, you can say, in a bigger extent, like in case I show an like not extreme, like a real website like thing that I create myself and I'm using this, then it wouldn't be looking that good using div. It will, naming it in such a way would obviously help me at the end. And if you follow this practice, then it will also help you. Now go for the first, we have to change, like simply invert the properties now. The blur should go as per the 8th. I would simply copy and paste it. This one, like most of it should be same according to me. So dot container hover, we have to put it on 0. Again, dot container hover 2, because the location has to be same. Like we do not have to change the location on the div. All we have to change is the blur. Now container hover, and here comes 4. Again container hover. Now comes 8 dot container hover. Like whenever they are repetitive tasks, only then these things get boring. Otherwise, they are really good. At least according to me, they are programming is really good thing, except when there is a lot of repetition. Now 16, wait, there hasn't been a value 16 there. We have to put 16 here, and after 16 here would be 20 dot container hover 24 dot container hover. Like please note to put a space if in case you are working like me. I'm a complete mess. You do not have to be a complete mess. Everything is working except the blur. What could be the problem? I haven't used WebKit in a time, so maybe now it works. Okay, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to create a new pen. Let's copy paste the code in it, because although I'm using live server, but still I'm feeling a little bit, you can say, slow when working with it. This is showing a perfect blur as we would require, but this isn't. And I do not know the problem, which is making me a little bit anxious. Not much, a little bit. Let's copy it. Let's paste it here. Now let's check what the problem is. I'll also add some border radius to it. No, I'll not. Like we are using spans, so it would disrupt the quality. What could be the problem? Okay, at least we have learned this much. Like if in case I write here some text such as hello, where did it appear? Okay, there it is appearing. Let's take it to an H1 tag. The only thing I do not like about working on CodePen is you do not have emit abbreviations. Like you do have auto completion, but it isn't as efficient as working with emit abbreviations. So I'll do container H1 font size 100 pixels. I don't know what would be the best value. Yeah, it is looking good. Let's okay, we shouldn't go to container. Let's do text align. As you can see, what I used was auto completion. Like it gives all the suggestions, which is quite a lot like MAT abbreviation, but you have to click Control and W to bring it. So that is a little bit of a problem. What was the size I gave? Not to the span, to the width. Let's do 20 VW. I'm currently experimenting. Okay, as you can see, that is a really big hello that no one would like to say. Yeah, this looks promising. And if we set the color to something vibrant, let's use RGBA colors. So I would put 255, 0, comma 0, comma 0.5. Okay. And then semicolon. And yes, it does look good. So this is what we had to create, and this is what we have created. Not all things go as planned, but in the next video you would be seeing it in a complete way and not in such a failure form. Although this also looks good to be used in a website, but I will recreate this in the next episode. So stay tuned to watch that in a complete way. Till then, bye.